collect the data for your country, real GDP data, inflation data, and the best thing would be to put it into these files. Okay? If you collect the data on exactly the same basis that we have in these files, quarterly data, real GDP, monthly data for CPI index, right? Then your potential output will automatically get calculated if you use the HB filter. Don't look for data on the capital stock, labor, and all of that. Just use the HB filter. Because getting data on the capital stock and labor for your countries is going to be hard. It's quite complicated. So to calculate potential output, just use an HB filter.
I have a question about it.
You want to do something more?
No.
No?
Do we have to to base 2010 or?
No. Just choose any base year. It doesn't matter. It won't matter. Because your country will probably have a different base year from the US.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you can always rebase everything. Okay? You can always rebase everything, but just say what the base year is, doesn't matter. Because a lot of the time you're basically looking at growth rates and stuff like that. And you're trying to compare the potential to actual. The base year doesn't matter. And even if you change the base year, the answer that you'll get in terms of what the output cap is will be exactly the same. It won't matter. Everything is just rebased to a different number. Okay. So once you've done that, once you have inflation, okay, the only thing, not the only thing, you need to collect data on the policy rate of your central bank. Once you have the data on the policy rate for your central bank and some measure of expected inflation, because you do need that for your Taylor rule. For the US, it should be fairly easy. You need to use the Fed funds rate. For the case of, I don't know whether the Bundesbank has or the ECB, and whether that rate applies to Germany and to all other countries, because the ECB is the central bank for Germany. So you should have some kind of a policy rate of for the ECB. Okay, and once you have that, you have the policy rate, you have expected inflation, and if you can find some measure of expected inflation for the ECB, that would be quite good. Should be possible. You can put that in. Once you have the interest rate, once you have the expected inflation, once you have the output cap, you should have an immediate application of the Taylor rule. Right? So you can calculate what the policy rate should be, what the policy rate actually is. When you compare the two, it will tell you exactly what monetary policy is doing. Right? And once you get annual, so remember for fiscal, we want only annual data. For the monetary side, we're looking for quarterly data. And if you get monthly data for the policy rate, you can always average it for the quarter and so on and so forth. All of those things are very easy to do. And for fiscal policy, the moment you put in revenues and expenditures, if you can get a breakdown here, that would be great. Right? If you don't get this breakdown between current, non-interest and interest, you may not be able to calculate the primary balance, right? Because for the primary balance, you need interest payments. Okay. So if you're looking at the budget, we calculated the primary balance and the overall balance. So if you don't have interest payments, you will not be able to calculate this line. If that's fine, do the entire analysis in terms of the overall balance. You'll have to change the graphs to pick up the right columns. Right now the graphs are picking up the primary cyclically adjusted balance, but you can do the entire analysis in terms of the overall balance. For your graphs, you will have to change what columns are being picked up. But that's fine too. We said we can have different indicators of the fiscal stance. Here we're using the primary cyclically adjusted balance, but you can use the overall cyclically adjusted balance also. And once you do that, immediately it's supposed to give you all of these pictures. It will create this picture for you. You will not have the primary balance picture because you don't have the primary balance, but it will definitely create this picture for you. Fine. And it will create this picture for you as well, but it will just do it with the overall balance. And here again, in terms of this particular thing, you will have to pick up, instead of the cyclically adjusted primary balance, you'll have to put in the fiscally adjusted overall balance. And in 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you will be able to explain that what time periods your country had a positive output gap, a negative output gap, okay? And what was monetary policy and fiscal policy doing at that point of time. Whether the policy real interest rate was higher or lower than what it should have been. Right? And in the case of fiscal policy, whether fiscal policy was expansionary or contractionary, whether it was counter-cyclical or pro-cyclical. No intertemporal optimization, no impulse response functions, no representative individual, right? No optimization. Okay, M? Did I answer your question? I think 20 to 25 minutes, maximum 25. Then we can have about 5 or 7 minutes. Other people can ask you some questions. I can say, I don't understand. Can you explain? That's my chance to say to you, can you please explain this a little bit more? Sounds okay?
And after the presentation, we will submit the data and PDF file to you.
If you can, if you don't mind, that would be very good for me. You can just send it to somebody. Right? Okay, wait.